Welcome to episode 55 of Motivating Mondays, a weekly podcast and YouTube series dedicated to help Canadian job developers and other employer engagement professionals develop the tools, resources, expertise, and network to excel at achieving sustainable employment outcomes for their clients or students. My name is Christian St. Cyr, National Director of the Canadian Job Development Network, and today we're going to explore new data indicating that for more than a year and a half, more people have been closing businesses than opening them. Some are calling this an employer drought, and it could get worse. Is this going to complicate our efforts to place individuals into lasting employment opportunities? Have you ever wondered why it's so hard for people to get jobs these days? Angus Reid just released a survey which found 4 out of 5, 80% of Canadians who are either looking for a job or have someone close to them who is looking for a job describe the current job market as bad or terrible. There's just 13% offering a positive assessment. Among job seekers, the most common frustrations reflect a lack of response from employers and a perceived shortage of available jobs in their areas. So why is this? It's possibly because employers have been so busy. Well, sure, employers are busy, but they have always been busy. There's also uncertainty in the economy, and while things look pretty bad from the inflation side of the economy, in actuality, the economy is pretty good. Canada hasn't experienced a recession, aside from the pandemic, of course, since 2009. That's 17 years. AI, of course, is just another form of automation, which has been transforming workplaces for more than 100 years. We've seen apps, the internet, Microsoft Office, computers, and robots regularly transforming the labor market, replacing jobs for more than 50 years now. And while cuts to immigration, temporary foreign workers, and international students have added increased levels of stress to employers, this should make them more eager to hire, not less. So why are things tough? Well, I would suggest to you, just as with some of us, of course, not everyone, of course, always, that employers are getting older and more inflexible. They've got their eye on the door, and it's affecting their decisions. The average Canadian small business owner is approximately 53 to 54 years old, with a significant portion of entrepreneurs approaching retirement age. Data indicates that around 60% of small and medium-sized enterprise owners in Canada are 50 years or older. We spent so many years talking about baby boomers retiring that we forget a large portion of small business owners are also baby boomers and looking to exit the workforce as well. There was a recent Environics poll that found that 42% of Canadian small business owners are unsure about their future and their plans for retirement, while more than a third, 36%, don't plan to give up ownership until they are not well enough to manage their business. New data suggests that many employers have chosen now to exit the business world. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business recently released a report titled Canada's Entrepreneurial Drought. It was part 2, Fixing Canada's Shrinking Business Landscape. This was the second in a 2-part series tackling the increased imbalance between Canadian businesses, openings, and closures. The first report in the series called attention to the country's entrepreneurial drought, defined as at least 4 consecutive quarters in which business exits exceeded entries since 2024, and this was revealed by CFIB's research. The CFIB found that Canada's small business owners have shuttered more businesses than started them for 6 consecutive quarters, with 55% of owners declining to recommend beginning a business at this time. Michelle Auger is the CFIB Director of Trade and Marketplace Competitiveness, and she described the federal economic statement released last week by the Prime Minister as an opportunity for Canadian government to combat this trend and boost confidence among businesses. The CFIB called for all levels of government to make it more attractive for business owners to continue their enterprises or start new ones. Their suggestions included reduced regulations, create training incentives, tax cuts and modifications, and a renewed focus on small business over big business. They are also encouraging businesses to raise awareness, especially among young entrepreneurs, regarding the opportunities and advantages of buying existing businesses. Canada cannot afford to lose more businesses than it gains. It's time for government to put small business first and reverse the entrepreneurial drought. This was noted by Auger. According to the CFIB, Canada needs to give businesses clear reasons to start, stay, and invest. Yet current government policies are failing to inspire confidence among entrepreneurs. If governments are serious about Canada's economic strength, competitiveness, and productivity growth, they need to start reflecting this in their policies. I was looking at some research from Social Capital Partners, and they refer to this as the silver tsunami. And they're expecting it to be a massive wave of aging baby boomer owners, about 75% of Canadian small business owners, expecting to retire or exit their companies in the next decade. This unprecedented transition involves over $2 trillion in assets, creating the risks of business closures or foreign takeovers if proper succession plans aren't made. Now, it would seem in job development that we have a front row seat for this massive transition of old business to new. In the end, there may be far fewer businesses, but the transition will also include new benefits for future workers. AI and automation are going to continue to transform workplaces. Workers who specialize in data, processes, systems, they're going to be at the mercy of artificial intelligence. This said, I think this will affect more entry-level employment and not more professional ones. AI isn't just affecting keyboard jobs. I read just this past weekend about a restaurant that has acquired two $50,000 machines that will prepare fried rice and chop suey. This restaurant claims that it will replace 2 roles for prep cooks. And while I struggle to understand how, apparently both of these machines require AI to do the work that they're going to do. So what is our takeaway here? Well, there's definitely going to be an education piece. We need to help our clients understand that if they're going to be actively applying for these jobs that are at risk of automation, they will spend their entire career competing for a continually eroding group of jobs with increased competition. Technology replaced workers at Blockbuster and as projectionists in movie theaters, and yet those workers could easily have seen these trends building years in advance. According to, as to employers, I believe our mantra needs to be no hassle. According to Merriam-Webster, a hassle is an annoying, inconvenient situation or a time-consuming, difficult task. Clients and students marketed by job developers are either consciously or unconsciously perceived by employers as a hassle. We need our messaging to be about the idea that they are ready to go, able to apply their knowledge, and that they will take initiative. By the way, you may be doubting that your clients or students are capable of any of those things. For this reason, we need our coaching and support for clients to be built around this sort of skill enhancement. We can be providing training which addresses questions that the clients might have, such as, what does a successful first day look like? How can I take initiative without overstepping? And what are the skills that I'm being hired for? Marketing a client to a 35-year-old business owner or a 60-year-old business owner is a different arrangement, and we should be tailoring our approach as such. It's likely the 35-year-old manager or business owner is going to be more likely to take risks, try something new, or do something that's unproven, or go in a new direction. Meanwhile, it's likely that the 60-year-old manager or business owner is going to avoid rocking the boat, look to enhance the team, not disrupt it, and hire the safe candidate. Our communication with the clients we suggest, the arguments we make, should be tailored to the person who's sitting across the desk or the counter from us. And while it's risky to make assumptions about any employer, this is why we do discovery, which I talked about extensively last week. We want to try to better understand what that employer is thinking. Disruption is a scary thing, but at the end of the day, employers will still need to hire people, job seekers will still need career professionals to help them, and employers will always be interested in finding candidates who can make a great contribution. No matter what happens in the next decade, don't hide from or complain about change. Try to learn from it. Just to let you know, we have now subscriptions available for the BC, the Alberta, the Prairie, the Ontario, and the Atlantic labor market reports. This is a great way of staying on top of the most recent labor market information. If you'd like to find out more information, just go to jobdevelopment.org and click on the appropriate labor market report for your province or region. Thank you so much for joining us. Please click the like or subscribe button in your platform. Search for Motivating Mondays wherever you download podcasts. We'd also love it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and or rate or review this podcast. Now, we do these sessions live and for free every Monday morning on Microsoft Teams. We have job developers joining us from across Canada, and it would be so great if you could join us. Just go to jobdevelopment.org to learn more. If you have any questions, you can send me an email directly. My direct email address is cstsear@labormarketsolutions.ca. Thank you so much for your time and have an amazing week.